My mother lied about who my real father was. For 25 years. For 25 years. I believed I knew who I was. I believed I knew my family. I believed the man who raised me was my father. And I believed my mother would never lie to me about something that important. But one conversation, one sentence, destroyed everything I thought was true. And honestly, some days I still don't know if I'll ever fully recover from it. Because finding out your entire identity was built on a lie changes you forever. Growing up, my relationship with my father was complicated. He wasn't abusive. He wasn't cruel. But he always felt emotionally distant from me. Like there was an invisible wall between us that neither of us could explain. My younger sister was different. He adored her, protected her, supported her emotionally in ways I secretly wished he would support me too. As a kid, I noticed it constantly. But whenever I brought it up, my mother always defended him. He just struggles to show emotions. He loves you in his own way. You're imagining things. So eventually, I stopped asking questions. Still, deep down, I always felt different inside that house. Like I somehow didn't fully belong there. And honestly, that feeling follows you throughout life. You grow up constantly trying to earn affection that should come naturally. Trying harder. Achieving more. Becoming quieter. Becoming easier to love. Because part of you believes maybe the problem is you. By 25, I had built a decent life for myself. Good job. Own apartment. Stable routine. But emotionally, I still carried this strange emptiness I couldn't explain. My father and I barely spoke unless necessary. Every conversation felt forced. Cold. Polite. Like two strangers trying to imitate family. And my mother? She always became uncomfortable whenever I asked deeper questions about our family. At the time, I thought nothing of it. Now I realize, she was terrified. Because people carrying huge lies eventually become afraid of simple questions. Everything changed the night my aunt got drunk at a family gathering. That's how secrets usually die. Not through honesty. Through accidents. I remember everyone laughing in the backyard while music played softly. My aunt had already been drinking for hours. And somehow the conversation shifted toward family resemblance. People started joking about how I didn't look much like my father. Then suddenly, my aunt laughed and said, "Well, maybe because he isn't actually his father." Silence. Complete silence. The kind that makes your stomach drop instantly. At first, I honestly thought she was joking. I even laughed nervously. But nobody else laughed. Especially not my mother. I looked directly at her. And I'll never forget that expression on her face. Pure panic. Like her entire world had just collapsed in real time. That's when I knew something was horribly wrong. I asked her what my aunt meant. Nobody answered. I asked again. Still silence. Then finally my mother whispered, "Not here." And honestly, that sentence scared me more than anything else could have. Because innocent people don't say "not here." I barely remember the drive home. Everything felt unreal. Like my brain was trying to protect itself from understanding too quickly. The second we walked inside the house, I demanded the truth. And for the first time in my life, my mother looked afraid of me. Not angry. Afraid. She sat down slowly at the kitchen table and started crying before saying a single word. Then finally, she admitted it. The man who raised me was not my biological father. I remember physically stepping backward after hearing it. Like my body rejected the information before my mind could process it. 25 years. 25 entire years of lies. And suddenly every childhood memory started rearranging itself inside my head. The emotional distance. The tension. The favoritism. The coldness. Everything suddenly made sense. And honestly, that realization hurt worse than the lie itself. Because deep down, part of me had always felt it. I asked her who my real father was. And that's when things became even worse. Because she didn't know where he was. Apparently she had an affair before I was born. A short relationship. According to her, it ended before she discovered she was pregnant. Then she stayed with the man who raised me. And together, they decided to hide the truth forever. Forever. They looked at a newborn child and chose a lifetime of lies before I could even speak. I couldn't breathe properly. I remember pacing around the kitchen trying to calm down while my mother cried non-stop. But honestly, at that moment, I felt nothing for her. No sympathy. No compassion. Only betrayal. Because she didn't just lie about my father. She lied about me. My identity. My blood. My entire existence. Then I asked the question that destroyed me emotionally. Did he know? And she nodded. Yes. The man who raised me knew the entire time. That's why he could never fully connect with me. That's why everything always felt distant. Because no matter how hard he tried, I was a permanent reminder of betrayal inside his own home. And suddenly I hated both of them. Her for lying. Him for punishing me emotionally for something I never chose. That night I sat alone in my apartment staring at old family photos for hours. And honestly, it felt like looking at strangers. Every memory became contaminated. Every holiday. Every birthday. Every family moment. Because now I was questioning what was real and what was performance. Over the next few weeks, my mother called constantly, begging me to talk to her, begging me to understand, saying she lied because she was afraid of losing me. But the problem with long-term lies is this. People stop mourning the truth. They start mourning the years stolen from them. And that's exactly how I felt. Robbed. Then one day she finally told me my biological father's name. I stared at that name for almost an hour before searching for him online. And when I finally found his photo, my entire body froze. Because for the first time in my life, I was looking at someone who looked exactly like me. Same eyes. Same jawline. Same smile. I can't even explain that feeling properly. It was like meeting a missing piece of myself I never knew existed. For weeks I debated contacting him. Part of me desperately wanted answers. Another part feared even more pain. Because what if he rejected me too? But eventually curiosity won. I sent the message. Short. Awkward. Terrified. And honestly, I never expected him to respond. But he did. The next morning. We met 2 weeks later. And I swear, I have never been more nervous in my life. When he walked into that restaurant and looked at me, he immediately started crying. Not dramatic crying. Quiet emotional tears he clearly tried to hide. And before I could even speak, he said, "I always wondered if you existed." That sentence broke something inside me. Because unlike everyone else, he looked genuinely happy to see me. Apparently my mother never told him she was pregnant. He spent 25 years completely unaware I existed. And suddenly I realized something painful. 3 lives had been destroyed by one decision. Mine. His. And even the man who raised me. Because secrets don't only hurt one person. They poison everyone connected to them. Over time, my biological father and I slowly built a relationship. Awkward at first. Then emotional. Then real. And honestly, for the first time in my life, I understood what it felt like to naturally connect with someone. No emotional wall. No forced conversations. No distance. Just connection. And that made me grieve even more. Because now I understood everything I missed growing up. My mother kept apologizing. Over and over again. But forgiveness becomes complicated when the damage shaped your entire identity. Because how do you forgive someone who changed the course of your whole life? How do you forgive 25 years of stolen truth? I still don't fully know the answer. Today, things are complicated. I speak to my mother again. But differently. Carefully. The trust never fully returned. And honestly? I don't know if it ever will. Because some lies are so deep that even after the truth comes out, part of the relationship stays broken forever. But one thing I've learned from all of this is, the truth may destroy people temporarily, but lies destroy people slowly for years. And sometimes the damage from silence lasts longer than the damage from honesty ever would have. So tell me honestly, would you forgive her after this? Share your thought in the comment section and follow us for more.